Welcome to Telling Our Stories. My name is Josh Johnson with Regency On The Lake. I relocated to Davidson, North Carolina, the Lake Norman area, in October of 2024. We started telling our stories so you, our viewers and listeners, can connect with our clients in the communities that we are a part of, from Western North Carolina to the Charlotte area. Welcome to the show, and we hope you enjoy this episode. This is Josh Johnson with Regency On The Lake, and welcome to this episode of Telling Our Stories. I'm here today with Robbie Shaw from EVRYBDY Studios, actually the studio we're setting in, and I'm with Hillary Lacouture.
Yes, or just Lacouture.
Yeah.
With
Wrathbone Marketing, but I like the Lacouture. I don't know. That's
okay.
incorrect though, right?
It's all right.
Oh, so tell me how it really is.
Lacouture. Yeah.
Lacouture. Okay. All right.
Or just Hillary Lock.
Yeah.
Hillary Lock. We are locked in on social media for sure, but no, we would like to welcome everybody to this episode of Telling Our Stories. Two great friends here. Obviously, we do work together as well, but unique kind of situation how we met and how things have played out. And I guess we'll kind of start with that, Robbie. I mean, I cold called you and we kind of hit it off. I think it was basketball, right, that we kind of started talking about initially.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, that was funny because it was, you left a voicemail and you have a very Western North Carolina accent, and I'm like, who is this dude?
Yeah.
And I listened to it, and I think I even played it out loud, and I had like Liz and a couple people in there, and we were all like, who is this dude? Yeah. And then the first thing you said was basically like, I don't like to text. I'd call me. I want to talk. Mm-hmm. And I'm a texter. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, geez, I got to call this guy. And I called you, and then within minutes it was like, oh man, I love this guy. And we just kind of went from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you did our little intro to the team shoot, which was amazing. Right. And that may have been, I don't know, that may have been where the basketball stuff came out.
I
can't remember. There's some other things that came out too. And, I'm fine sharing this. I think you are, but I
can't wait now.
Yeah, in my past, I have a little history of addiction.
Just a touch.
And have dealt with that. And on the other side, you and I did that as well.
Yeah,
we share that.
Yeah.
So, but anyhow, so that's kind of how we got connected.
Right.
Personalities. Right. Shoot, we got married on the
Peas
same day.
In a pod.
Yeah.
We got married on the same day.
You're kidding.
Same year.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
I had no idea. That's crazy.
Both on the coast. He was up north. I was down at Wrightsville.
Yeah. We were
that's
holding
wild.
hands together.
Yeah. I'm so glad that worked out.
But anyhow, you introduced me to Hillary.
Yes, I did.
And you guys have been both natives to Charlotte, which is rare.
Yeah, people say that's rare.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
everybody I know's from here.
Yeah, but
we just don't leave a pocket.
Yeah, and Hillary, your business, Wrathbone Marketing, and you kind of handle our social media stuff, and both of you guys do an excellent job, by the way. But the reason I kind of wanted to have you on the show is because of the relationship. I think is so much more than even the work. I mean, honestly, I think both of you, you're like a brother to me. You're like a sister to me.
Ooh,
honest to God, it's just family. No, but it's been fun. It's made the work piece, and I feel like, and I've shared this before, for me, like my priorities are God, family, work. And my work family is part of that number 2. And y'all are definitely in that group now for me and my group, Regency on the Lake. And anyhow, we didn't plan any of this, obviously.
No.
We have no
Let's
idea
riff.
where this conversation's going, but we can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. And I just wanted to have you guys on because I knew it would make for a good episode and people would thoroughly enjoy it. And we can just share a little bit about what we've done together so far, if you want to, our past, present, future, where we hope we're going, etc. So y'all just kick it off. Whoever wants to go first.
Kick it off.
Yeah.
Well, I already spoke, Hillary. If you want to jump in and just
Well, yeah. I mean, we can talk about how
do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So I'm substantially older than Robbie, but we did grow up in Charlotte together.
Way down the road.
His wife's one of my best friends. But yeah, Robbie's humor is unsurpassed, and he is wicked smart. And so it just worked out that my office is upstairs, and we get to see each other socially if I ever do anything social. I don't know about you. And Robbie called me after y'all had engaged and we were doing these podcasts, and he's like, I got somebody I want you to meet. Mm-hmm. He's like, this guy's great. So utmost of respect for Robbie. So I totally jumped in there, and right off the bat, I mean, to your point, what y'all were talking about earlier, it was a phone call and not a text or an email, which is just so overly abused. Mm-hmm. And, it's all about relationships, and you want to do work with people that you like. Mm-hmm. And most of us spend more time with people we work with than we do with our own family. Mm-hmm. So you got to make sure that that work family is good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we're all of the age now where we don't have to work with people we don't like anymore. Yeah. And that is the luxury of getting older, right? Because I think we can all say when, I was younger, it didn't matter. I'm like, okay, great, you're a client, but they may not be the nicest people in the world. Mm-hmm. And now we have that luxury that we can pick and choose a little bit more. Mm-hmm.
Good point. Great point. Well, I appreciate all the compliments from both of you. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy working with you. I really enjoy your mission. I think it's hand in hand with what you do professionally, where it is, residential real estate. So there is this communal kind of mentality around what you do, and that lights me up as what we do in the storytelling space. And mm-hmm. I mean, our mission around here is very grounded in authenticity and storytelling and really getting to know people through conversations like this. Like, this isn't a show.
No.
There's no music.
Yeah.
It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, it's not uncomfortable to me. I kind of enjoy it.
I'm kidding.
There wouldn't be music.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But it's, it's funny because I come from a background of therapy. I mean, I was a therapist essentially. And so, I sit in a room with no music, no distractions, face to face, eye to eye, and talk about scary stuff, mm-hmm. right? And so that lended itself very nicely to a podcast production agency, because that's what we like to produce is these kinds of conversations, like mm-hmm. real, just who are you? What do you think? What have you been through? Why do you do what you do? Mm-hmm. It's not a big song and dance, and I know that's where you come from. You're a very authentic, genuine person, which is what drew me to you, and which is what makes it fun to work with you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate
and
that.
it's also makes my life easier, because that authenticity is what is brand building, mm-hmm. right? I mean, that is really the whole reason why social media exists, right? Mm-hmm. Is people like to see others in their authentic self. Mm-hmm. So you've made my job a lot easier in being able to put out that content and mm-hmm. share that social media wise and otherwise, because it's real. Yeah. And it is the perfect brand builder, because it is your brand.
I mean, for me personally, sometimes I feel like I may be a little too authentic, just because I am pretty quick to say what I think, and you like me or you don't. But I mean, I gravitate to folks that are like that. Yeah. And I feel, like you said, and to both of your points, I mean, people like that most of the time. Mm-hmm. And even if it's hard, sometimes they like it. I mean, when you do hit those conversations, sometimes when you're really authentic and you're like, people kind of step back and they're like, geez, did he really just say that?
Yeah.
Right.
But then 2 days later, they come back and they're like, hey, thanks for saying that. I had to process it, but it was right on.
Yeah.
But, delivery could have been a little bit better. Right. And I'm like, well, I'm working on the delivery, but.
Well, it's an interesting world we live in, where being very truthful and mm-hmm. very honest and very authentic mm-hmm. puts people in a weird place.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know.
But if you're going to compare, somebody who's authentic and possibly offensive mm-hmm. compared to somebody who's full of shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
I'll take that. I'll take the authentic all day long.
Well, you're just saying what they're thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But to get back on how you and I met at that first shoot we did, it wasn't really even a podcast. It was more of an introduction to all of my team, which mm-hmm. is absolutely amazing. I mean, from Andrea to Christy to Courtney, both Courtneys, got two Courtneys,
Right.
to my wife, Christy, to Austin and Layla. We just had a couple new join. I'm not sure that I should mention that on the podcast yet, but
nice.
we got Tate Hudler as well. I mean, and then you guys are part of the team, 110%, but we did that little intro shoot. And on the way down, one of my partners called, and obviously she knows my history and my struggle with addiction. And she's like, how did you find this guy? And I was like, honestly, Google. I was like, and I called 2 or 3 people. I talked to this dude. I love him. I mean, based off the conversation. And you have that authenticity too. He was like, look, I'm not going to blow smoke. This is what I do. This is how I can help. If you're interested, great. Let's do something. If not, I'm like, no, I'm done. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like, let's go. I said, you're my guy. And I think I did say that. I said, let's go. I'm like, when can you do it? And then anyhow, my partner called me. She was coming down from the high country because we do have offices in West Jefferson and office here in Davidson. And she said, this guy, he did a whole podcast on alcohol. He's like, is that how you picked him? I was like, he did not do that. I was like, if he did, so what? I mean, that's great. And I was like on my way to the shoot site, and I was like scrolling through, and you did Champagne Problems, which I guess is what she was referring to, which was all new. So I walked in the door, and I was like, tell me, did you do a podcast like on addiction or something, alcohol? And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, man, I'm in recovery, 19 years or something right then. And I was like, all right, now I like you for another reason. I mean, because at that time I hadn't even hit the year mark.
That's right.
And we connected on that really quickly. And I kind of shared my story a little bit. And we got talking about Oak Hill and basketball too, which was another connection.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you grew up playing with Jeff McGinnis.
Yeah, to a degree. I
Yeah.
mean, he and I went to the same high school. My brother played with him, actually, more than I did. But he was right in between my brother and I. But then at Carolina, I played on the JV team, and he was on the varsity team.
Yeah.
So we had some overlap there as well.
And Jeff I guess it's been a little bit over a year. He was inducted to the Hall of Fame there at Oak Hill, which Coach Steve Smith, he's one of my best golfing buddies. So we kind of hit it off on that little thing too. And then from there, it's been history. Yeah. But, I mean, making introductions like Hillary to me, I mean, which is another godsend. I mean, I feel like it's just absolutely been like this whole transition, opening up this new office. I mean, if I would have planned it, it couldn't have been this way. I mean, in my recovery, people talk about higher power, whatnot.
Sure.
I believe in God 110%, like as I've shared with y'all. And I mean, I feel like all of this has been orchestrated by God. I mean, not me.
Thank you, buddy.
I mean, because I couldn't have done it. I mean, I'm fully aware of that. But
well, good things come to good people. Yeah, you've turned into a good person recently. But it's cool how Hillary and I are Charlotte people. And you're a North Carolina guy, but Charlotte's filled with non-Charlotte people. Yeah. And you're this like authentic, genuine, want to like keep it real, kind of communal, family-based guy, which makes sense to work with two people that are, generational Charlotte. Yeah. It's kind of cool how it worked.
Oh, yeah, it is. But anyhow, I'm going to just go off the cuff here.
Let's do it.
And I'm going to ask, because I think, Robbie, we've talked about this a lot too, music. I think you can tell a lot about people by what they enjoy, like songs that matter to them.
Oh, my goodness.
So I'm going to put you both on the spot.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to say... And this may tell your age, too, a little.
No doubt.
Oh, wow.
Let's go like what you grew up on music, what you loved, like what you listen to today, and like favorite song of all time.
You don't have to be cool.
No, I was actually trying to think like what I would put in my like cassette player.
Yeah.
So, I feel like high school was that mix of everything from Queensryche to Bob Marley.
Queensryche.
God, Queensryche was so
Sign,
good.
sign, everywhere.
Operation Mindcrime.
Did Queensryche do signs?
No, that was like Tesla.
Tesla. Sure.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, what, like high school, and then I think that was like also my first concert that was in excess. And then,
Which
Did
you
you
and I,
see-
you
did you
and
see
I's
me there?
first concert was in excess.
Yeah.
Ziggy Marley opened.
100%.
right.
Yeah. And
Were
then-
y'all there together?
No.
No,
No.
okay.
We didn't
I was
even know
like,
each other. But
Okay.
No.
I mean, people,
Right.
the question of what's your first concert,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I ask that in almost every episode of Champagne Problems.
Okay.
There's one other person in the world that went to that concert, but saw NXS as their first live concert, and it was Laird Hamilton.
Get out.
Isn't that wild?
It's so weird.
But you and I went,
Yeah.
our first concert
Where
was the
were
same
we?
one.
At the Old Hornets?
Old Coliseum, yeah.
Yeah. So that was my first. And I remember, gosh, I was probably 14. So you were probably 10.
I was young.
Yeah.
I was very young.
And the only way I could go was if my parents went. I'm an
Mm-hmm.
only child, so my parents had to go, and they took my best friend and I, and all my other friends got to go with like their cool older siblings, but no.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom and dad were there, and I remember Ziggy Marley opened, and then NXS came on stage, and I remember
Mm.
NXS came on stage, and my mom looked at me and she goes, "Is that the same band?" I was like, "There's a little bit different."
Marleys and NXS.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same band.
Yeah, that's so
Totally
funny.
different.
Exactly. But then, now music-wise, I think it's still, I mean, it goes from everything from like on the way here, I think I listened to Jack White to Britney Spears. I mean,
Okay.
it runs the gamut. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think there's like one genre.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes I'll get like knee deep into like Ryan Adams or something like that, but for the most part, it's pretty.
Brian
It's
Adams.
Yeah.
No, Ryan.
I was thinking Brian Adams too.
I
was
mean,
like,
I can enjoy some Brian Adams too, but you
I was
know,
like, little saxophone,
runs the gamut.
love stories going on here. Like,
everything I do, little Robin Hood soundtrack. What about you?
Oh man, yeah. Music has been part of my life. I mean, it's a part of everybody's life, but early in my life, music controlled everything I did. I played the drums. I was very much drawn to music. I'm a creative. I have that brain. And my mom she won't listen to this, but they steered me as far away from music as they possibly could. You're a banker. So my creative juices just kind of got squashed. But so that to say, music has just always been a thing for me. I've always listened to it. I mean, I started off, listening to what my parents had, which was records of Alabama and Billy Joel. I mean, Billy Joel was like the first memories of me being a little kid, spazzing out to music. And then, of course, junior high, I'm listening to like the classics like Zeppelin and Grateful Dead. And then Widespread Panic comes out a little bit later in junior high for me. Right about then, the alternative genres is breaking through. The Red Hot Chili Peppers, Nirvana, Pearl Jam. That's all around 9th grade for me. And then Rage Against the Machine in high school. And I listened to rap all the way through. I mean, like I said, I went to West Charlotte. I played basketball. My friends were of the culture that were, pushing rap. And really celebrating rap, and so I was right there with it. I mean, early on, we were listening to Sugar Hill Gang and
That's a good one.
who are the other ones? The Fabulous whatevers, but all the way through. And then, of course, gangster rap came out, and then Southern rap, Outkast. I mean, I could go on and on forever. And now I'm 48, and I've kept in touch with it all the way through. So I've listened to just about everything. Now, here's the rub. Country is not my thing.
wow.
I know.
Really?
Wow.
I know.
Really?
I've never in my life listened to country. And somebody asked me why recently. And I do think, I'm from my mom's side of the family's 4 generations farmers, and they all, country folk.
Yeah.
There was something around junior high school where my high school was predominantly African American, and the other half was like country redneck. And those good old boys were bullies. And I was a city boy. I mean, I grew up deep in the heart of Charlotte, and my friends were black, and I listened to rap, and those country boys intimidated me. Some of them bullied me.
Mm-hmm.
And that country lifestyle, that country kind of culture just
Right.
Rubbed you wrong.
It triggered me.
Yeah.
It made me fearful. I didn't like it. I felt bullied. And that's always been the thing with country for me. Now, look, I get that is irrational and it is more an emotional kind of response. It's not necessarily about the music, but that's why I don't listen to country.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
that's hard
listen
to bend.
everything else.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is. Yeah, it is. And I will say, I grew up on the 60s and 70s, you know, with mom and dad. That's what we listened
Some
to all
records.
the time. Yeah. Well, yeah. And then the radio, I can't even remember the station, but it was constant, like, you know, Twist. Like
Yeah,
that
for
type
sure.
music. Elvis.
Chubby Checker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bob Marley, not. And Bob
Ziggy.
Marley, yeah, not Ziggy,
Not
and
Ziggy.
you know James Taylor, obviously, and you know those folks, John Fogerty, CCR. I mean, that's what I was raised on. Bob Dylan. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
and Bob Dylan, I still love. I mean, and the thing I've always loved about music, I like the guys that write, that actually do like talking about those creative juices. I mean, and Fogerty was the same way. I mean. He wrote
Singer-songwriter.
yeah,
Right.
singer-songwriter. Taylor. I mean, you know, but you didn't write all of them, I know, but the majority he wrote, you know. But I love it when you get those stories
Yeah,
in
that's
the
best
music.
part.
Kind of like the same thing here. And I still have friends. I mean, I went to college with Ryan Tedder. I knew Ryan Tedder before he was Ryan Tedder in One Republic. He sang in the choir at "Oh Are You," and practiced right there on his hall. Went to the stairwell and would blare it out.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I mean, you know, and he's extremely gifted.
Yeah.
But the stories in songs are what, you know, I get to. And then, like, even back to the country, I'm kind of partial to country.
I imagine.
But
you
now,
are.
I was not. I was the white kid that got bullied in a white school, honestly. I mean, because I was small. Growing up, I was a small kid. I mean, I hit my growth spurt in between my senior year and freshman year of college. I was a late bloomer. So, I mean, I was
That's
little.
when you just skyrocketed.
Right.
Oh, let's put it this way. I came back after my freshman year of college, and all the girls were like, "What? What happened to you?" So, you know, I got adjusted,
Yeah.
you know, but it took time. And it's funny that you brought up that bullying, but, you know, I kind of got some of that. And all my friends have always been older because they were a little smarter, I guess, even growing up in school. I mean, my friends in school, when I was a freshman, my best friends were seniors. And I think the girls kind of felt sorry for me, you know, so they'd take me under the wing and say, you got to be nice to him. He's a
Right.
good kid. I mean, he can't help it. He's
That's
little.
nice.
You know how
Yeah.
girls are, especially in high school. And
Sometimes.
I mean,
Can't help it.
one of them I'm still lifelong friends with today. I mean, her name when we were in school was April Church. I mean, she's just forever holds a place in my heart just because how she took care of me. I say she helped raise me. But, and my guy friends, they were all older. I mean, and then when all the older folks graduated, my class was like, ha ha ha, all your friends are gone now.
Yeah.
So, you know, you kind of got some more of that bullying, but went to college, same thing. All my friends were older. I mean, I was friends with like seniors there. And then, you know, it's kind of weird because I feel like it kind of in some ways prepared me to be who I am today. Because I mean, I had to learn to know who I was at an early age because of that. Because if you don't, you get lost in the shuffle in a hurry, especially when you're getting kind of beat up a little bit and put down, knocked on over and over and over. So I'm grateful for it at this point. But you know, like I've shared with you, I was an anxious kid. I mean, I remember first day of kindergarten, you know, they throw you in the gym and it's loud. I still to this day, and this kind of goes to my addiction stuff that I talked to you about, like, if it gets like too crazy, I'm the kid that still puts his hands on his ears and like screams, you know, like, God, get me out of here.
Too much.
I mean, you know,
Maxed
I'm
out.
like, I can't do this. It just like overstimulates me or something. And I still have to remove myself from those situations from time to time. But and I've always said I'm 45, but I'm 65 in all reality. Because, I mean, in a lot of ways, I feel like that. But when I was drinking, I definitely felt like that. I'm kind of getting readjusted to my physical age now. But physically, anyway. But life's fun. But, I mean, some of the folks that I've listened to personally, I mean, I grew up on all that rap, too. I mean, Big E and wow, Tupac. Yeah. I loved that rap. I mean, I did, and Outkast definitely. But on the countryside, growing up, I mean, I would probably have to say I was there with Alabama, Brooks and Dunn. I mean, shoot, Brooks and Dunn and Lord Kenny Chesney. I mean, Kenny, I love. I mean, his songs. I feel like there's a story in every song he sings, and I love that. Today, as you know, I'm a big Eric Church guy. I mean. He's just a singer-songwriter too, though. And he's kind of got that edge of, I mean, some people call it an outlaw. I mean, he's broke the mold in the industry, in the way he operates, which I think is amazing. Plus, he's a North Carolina guy, which is amazing.
That we were talking about.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just, he is who he is. But I mean, and a thing I like about him too is the way he totally gives back. I mean, when Helene hit in the high country, geez, him and Luke Combs stepping up the way they did, amazing. I mean, Luke's a local guy too, and I like him. I mean, he's not as much my flavor. I'm more of a church choir boy, but I nowadays I do like me some Morgan Wallen. He's a little on the edge. I love me some Jelly Roll. I mean, I love Jelly Roll, and this one's probably going to shock you, but I love Eminem. I mean, I love him.
I mean, how can you not?
And I mean, his music too tells stories.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just like, and it may be too raw for some people, but I love it. I mean, it's like real. And you get that authenticity in that, and it's just like, geez. But anyhow, that's kind of cool hearing those stories. I mean, it hit me. And I was like, let's talk about some music.
I can talk music all day long. I was listening to Taylor Swift all the way.
Now, I don't know what I think about that, but football will never be the same.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
What? I mean, I think it's all positive,
Nothing
honestly.
is ever the same.
No, but I mean, she's an enigma in that I think especially people at our age are like, what is the deal? And I refuse to listen to it just because everybody else did. And then I'm like, damn it. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's real good.
It is
and I
good.
mean, seems like a quality, wholesome person. I mean, there's just not a lot of negatives. I mean,
the only negative is hatred.
Right.
No offense.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a hater.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I don't totally understand it, but I'm also a father of two boys.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not like something that I hear, from what I hear.
Right.
I mean, like my sister, she's got a little girl and it's Swifty land.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like you can't escape it. But, I guess my world at the moment just hasn't endorsed that or embraced
that makes
it.
Sense.
That
makes perfect sense.
I mean, just her whole evolution.
It's
fascinating
amazing. From country to where she is now.
Absolutely.
I mean,
one of my daughter's friends was like, you have to hear the song. I was like, I'm not a fan. She's like, you have to hear the song. This was like years ago. And later in the day, I played it and I was like, God, that's good.
To her credit, though, she's written a lot of her songs.
Totally.
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. Is when someone says she's no good or don't, whatever.
That's crazy.
That
makes no sense.
Discredits any of your opinions when you say that she's like not talented or something.
Right, it's
like
crazy.
Like, she is the most ridiculously talented singer-songwriter.
Yeah,
I mean,
she is.
If she's not your style, I get
That's
it.
okay.
That's one thing.
That's a totally different than.
But I mean, you can listen to her songs, and that is. I go back to the country, obviously. The newer stuff, I can't. It's hard for me to get on board with. But hey, it is what it is. She's got a market, and God be with her and everybody that enjoys it.
I'll do talks on branding, so like personal branding and company branding, because they really like parlay into one another. And I'll do this exercise where on the screen I'll show different celebrities, because it's really easy for people to look at something and then have that reaction, so they can understand what a brand means, right? It's an emotion. It's not tangible versus something that's tangible. And I'll use her as an example, and I'll put her picture up, and it's so amazing, like what you get from the crowd, because people are like, "Oh yay," or they're like, "I hate her," you know, and there's like, "No," or I'll show Lady Gaga, because I mean, talk about again evolution of a human, but but both of those people, what they have in common is that authenticity, and they just put it out there.
Oh yeah,
and I mean that's what it's all about, right? Is that's a huge part, not necessarily whether you like their music and that they wear a dress out of meat.
If I have to pick between Lady Gaga and Taylor, I'm taking Lady Gaga all day long. Yeah.
I'd take her.
I like her on the piano. I do.
It's pretty epic talent right
there.
there.
Yeah, it is. But anyhow, so what do you want to talk about now?
Food.
I'm gonna let you.
Food.
All right.
Let's go food.
All right, let's go food.
What's your all right, let's go last meal. And maybe there's overlap. Maybe it's both, but family's out of town, you got a full bank account, no plans. What are you eating when you're feeling good about your body, you worked out, you're not on your freaking limits, and you can eat whatever you want. What is it?
Hillary, I'm gonna let you go first,
Okay.
because I'll tell you, I'm simple when it comes to food. But go ahead.
Well, that's
Okay.
good.
So first we're going to do that one, and then we're going to do last meal, because they're two totally different things. I feel
interesting.
like. Okay, so it would be Mexican all the time. Like I would literally eat that for every meal. It doesn't matter if I have $1 or $1 million. Mexican all day long.
What kind? Like tacos?
Oh, dude, all of it.
All
it
of it.
literally doesn't matter.
Love
Chips,
it.
salsa, guacamole. You can have some tacos. Like when we used to go to Paco's Tacos. I mean, like
Enchiladas?
just like, I don't know. Those aren't my fave.
I don't like wet meat.
Yeah, it's that wet part. It's not. That is different. So last meal. This is like kind of last, but when I was pregnant, I was like, you kind of try to go through the whole like, I'm going to have organic fruit and be super healthy and blah, blah. And then I was like, before I have her, I'm like, it's going to be my last meal. And I'm excited about it. And it was like Bojangles French fries, extra seasoning, a tuna salad sandwich from Arthur's on whole wheat, plain.
Nostalgia.
Yeah. An orangeade from the soda shop. And then one of those super gnarly cupcakes from the Harris Teeter that has like 6 pounds of not real icing on it. And I was pumped. Like I had this planned out. Like it is.
Great.
And then she came 5 weeks early. And I was like, dude. And I mean, to this day, I'm like, I never got my last meal.
You need to eat that.
I'm locking that in.
Right,
We're
you know
gonna
what I'm
deliver that
talking
at some
about?
point.
Like, what a weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, to this day, I'm like, I was so looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
For me, food, and this is weird. I already told you I was an anxious guy. All right, so this goes back to school too. I mean, cafeteria loud when you're in school, right? I didn't eat.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Right.
And even till this day, if it's large crowd, loud crowd, I'm going to pick a little. I'm not going to really eat. Food for me is kind of like the company you're with makes the meal more so than the food for me.
Okay.
And not to sound, that's really authentic. If I sit down and eat a meal with you, that's speaking louder than whatever we're eating. Because for me, I have to be really comfortable with folks to eat
That's
with
so
them.
soulful. I'm like, I would eat in my car.
And I enjoy food. If I have to pick like a food like I enjoy that I couldn't live without, it's my sweets. Especially since I quit drinking.
Oh yeah.
I have to have my sweets. It's like, give me some chocolate, give me that bourbon pecan banana milkshake from the peach shop there in Cornelius. I need it. Hey, give me that. But when it comes to food, my favorites, if I have to say, and this is environment though, it goes back to environments, because I try to think like, well, when is a meal that I really enjoyed? And when I go to that, it's always like a fresh fish taco or something, like when I'm in the islands or something. Like kind of like a Caribbean type, feel.
Yeah.
Now, and then the other part that I would go to is, and this may be my last meal just because it's good memories, but like down home Southern, like meatloaf with
Wow.
mashed potatoes. And I'm not talking that meatloaf you slice. I mean, it's the meatloaf you spoon out, you know, and it's got all the good,
Yeah,
the
wet
good
meat.
grease and everything with it. And you throw it on your taters and, you know, and you got your corn and your green beans and cornbread. Pintos if you don't have green beans. I mean, that's
You
just
going
like,
knee deep.
that's good. I mean, you know, get a glass of milk with cornbread and onions in it. Yes,
Oh,
Lord. I mean, I guess that would be, I mean, that's your like, you know, your coma meal. But I mean, you know, that's a traditional family meal.
That's an
in my-
angioplasty, man.
Yeah, in my family. So I mean, I like that. But I mean, if I just go on those other everyday meals, it's that Caribbean, like you're sitting in the sun, you got on shorts, flip flops, no shirt, hopefully. You just got off a boat. You know, if they can cook the fish you just caught,
Even better.
what do they call them little conch fritters? Or,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, conch fritters.
things.
Yeah, geez, man, I'll eat a basket of them.
That's basically sea
Yeah,
sauce.
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
we call that.
I mean, ceviche, I like that, you know, but you give me like a little bowl of ceviche, good. I mean, but it's just the memories, I guess, that I associate with that.
Nostalgia,
Yeah, totally.
And it's just really peaceful when I've been in those settings. But as you all know, a lot of our industry, or mine particularly, you have a lot of these events where you're eating or drinking and mingling. Forget the eating and I used to be really good at the drinking and the mingling, but now the eating and the drinking you'll find me with a club soda and lemon and lime, but eating was never a part of that for me. I mean, it's just, it never digested well.
Yeah.
Let's put it that
Well,
way.
and you get stuff
Yeah.
in your teeth or on your face. And
Yeah. And it's just loud. I don't know. I mean, that's,
Yeah, it's
you
noise.
know, you really, I don't know how you explain all that. You're the
No,
therapist.
you did it.
But-
No, you did it.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, and for me to answer is now going to be hard. But you know, my doctor calls me a dopamine guy.
Yeah.
I love the quick hits, and so food gives me that.
Yeah.
Music gives me that.
Yeah.
Lots of different things give me the quick hit, and so I can look at. I mean, that's why it's impossible. It's like picking your own child kind of thing. Like there's no way I could pick my favorite song or my favorite movie or my favorite show or my favorite food. I've got hundreds of them. They all give me something. But I loved your explanation because I went through a period, obviously people that are that battle addiction typically hand in hand have some level of anxiety. I went through a period of throw up panic attacks. And it started in college where I threw up on campus at the University of North Carolina in front of a bunch of girls.
God.
And from that point forward, and it was because I was hungover and I was anxious, I was having to go meet my counselor, and I got so nervous that the food I just ate came up and came out. And I was so embarrassed that for the next 9 years, I battled that. And so I didn't eat much. I could only eat when I drank. But that's not what we're talking about. Point is, as I understand where you're coming from, where food was almost a chore. It was just like I had to figure out how and when I was going to get it in me because it was not easy to do. Throw that away and look at the last 19 years of my life. I'm a glutton, and I absolutely love food. And I would say that it's probably my biggest addiction now is food.
Well, you're a good cook too.
Well, and I don't necessarily mean that I sit down with a jumbo bag of Doritos and just eat crap. I like good food, and I cook it like Hillary just said. So I grew up cooking to a degree, more kind of manly grill type stuff, but then Ashley, my wife, grew up with her mother cooking recipes her whole life. And so when she got pregnant and she was having cravings, she came to me with recipes and would go, cook this, cook this, cook this. And that threw me into the world of more intentional, a little more, recipe-styled cooking, which turned on something for me. And so I've been practicing and studying food and just the culinary kind of art for 16 years now. So all that to say, people often say, well, what do you like to cook? Well, I like to cook what I like to eat. And my favorite flavors are Asian flavors. I love sweet and savory. So my comfort meal, to answer my own question, is Chinese food.
Okay.
So if my family's not in town and I can just get fat on the couch, like shut the blinds, kind of eating,
It's gonna get ugly.
throw on a movie and just soy sauce and just I'm gonna wake up sick,
The sodium.
MSG.
swollen and sick. And
Yeah.
So I get like a big old thing of Chinese food and just crush. Last meal, I've never thought about it because I always think of like how anxious I would be. Like,
Yeah.
I think of like death row.
Death row. That's exactly.
I don't think I'm gonna die by death row.
God.
Hopefully,
God forbid.
it's more of an intentional meal like towards the end of my life. So I think it falls right in line with what you all say. So some sort of nostalgic meal, and I don't know what that is other than probably like, my New York strip, my creamed corn,
Yeah.
my fried okra, my sliced tomatoes with a glob of mayonnaise on them,
Oh yeah.
and butter and salt,
Oh yeah. Yep.
and A1 on the steak.
Yeah. I know A1. Lord have mercy. That's just killing it.
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I
Yeah.
get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I like to throw a little tang on it.
I
Yeah.
hear you. Oh Lord, that's so interesting because you don't really. Food's not something. This is crazy though. When I was graduating high school, it was three things for me. It was either culinary school, Johnson and Wales, military, or a Christian school.
Those are three very distinct
But
lanes.
here's the reason I did those. Culinary, I think at the time was like 2 years. I was never a big school guy anyway. I mean, honestly, it came pretty easy, almost too easy. And I just couldn't, I was not interested. And I was like, I just want to get on with life. Culinary part goes back to kind of the creativity of me, which I learned something today, something else that we had in common that I didn't know till today. I played the drums as well.
Wow.
So the
Long
music
lost
and the
brothers here.
cooking, the reason I was thinking culinary is because like those really fancy dishes, that's what I wanted to do. And they're artistic.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that portion of that industry. I did learn, though, before I went to culinary school, that a high percentage of everybody that's in the restaurant business, especially chefs, have a substance abuse problem. I had no substance abuse problem at that time. And I was like, I don't want that for my life.
Right.
But
Nice call.
I guess it found me anyway, right? But it's kind of weird how you see all these things and you think about it early on and then you deal with it and have to figure out how to live with it and then you recover from it. But it's almost like it's just weird to look back in time. But the reason either military or Christian school was because, or that culinary thing, is because I didn't like school. Wanted to get in and out as quickly as possible. Didn't want to party at all. I wasn't a party guy. First drink really was like early 20s. Really, my drinking didn't crank up till mid-20s. And then, went from there to my 40s. But, it is what it is, but it's weird looking back on all this stuff, kind of how it all kind of correlates and is connected. But the creativity part of me and the authenticity part of me, it's like those dishes you see. There's a story in some of these dishes.
Sure.
And I don't eat that type of food a lot, but I enjoyed making it and had the privilege of working with, some chefs. And actually my first job outside of family was at a restaurant. Started as a busboy, moved to a waiter, actually started as a dishwasher, busboy, waiter to the kitchen. And I enjoyed the waiting portion, and it was a nice restaurant. The waiting portion was cool because you got
something like that?
No, one Outback. No, but the waiting portion, I enjoyed it because of the people. Same reason I enjoy real estate so much. You got to meet all sorts of people, get to hear lots of stories, and you're serving them, which, is at the root of what I feel like I'd love to do, is provide service to people and help them. But in the kitchen, I love the creativity part. It was just like, this is cool. And the chef would give me, even though I was young, I'm talking 18 at the time. he would give me freedom to come up with a dish.
Wow.
And I mean, it's cool just to hear the feedback and stuff from that when you do that. But anyhow, it's interesting. You got my brain thinking a little bit today.
Good.
A little look back.
Yeah. So we have hit on some music and some food and touched a little bit on what we do today. And it's kind of unique how even myself sitting here, like thinking back, and it's, I said it already, but like talking about food and school and music, it just brings up a lot of kind of what formulates who you are today. And each of us, have our own story for sure. And mine, the real estate portion of things, it's very like, it hits that security zone that I kind of mentioned with the food. I mean, I feel like home is like supposed to be your most secure, safest, portion of your life. Mm-hmm. And it's very important to people. And helping and assisting and serving people, whether it be selling an old portion of that and moving on to a new portion, I love. I mean, I absolutely love. And I mean, it's not always easy. I mean, when you've got folks like Deborah and Ross, who were on one of our shoots podcast earlier, who've lived in the home for 30 years and have all those memories and cooked meals and stuff there and served people. I mean, Ross is a dentist. They didn't share this in their podcast, but they had like a little separate area that they called the Nash B&B, and they would have their friends. They were host. And that's the one thing I love about working with people. You have all these different personalities, but they were hosts. They loved to entertain. When it comes to food, they're the type of people that would like have themed dinners, for their work family, for their extended family, friends, whatnot. And that B&B was a portion of that because people come stay, have a little get-together event, party, and then hit the B&B. But, I mean, I actually didn't help them sell that property, but helped them buy their new one. But I did help them with the letting go portion and moving to the new portion. And that is, and home for me is that safe place too. So I think it's really easy for me to, I like to eat at home. I may eat 10 times at home, but I'm not the 3 meal a day guy. I'm the, grab a snack here and there or, a small portion and then hit it 10 times, but that's where I do most of my eating. But, and I think that's key. And and just talking about this, it brings up something else and family dynamic in general. I mean, you think back in time, like families always used to eat together. And now it's so hard for that to happen due to work schedules. I mean, my kids' schedules alone are ridiculous, let alone mine and my wife's. But when you get those meals, I always tell people a house is not a home without the people that live there. And if the people that live there create that environment and that home feeling, that's when a house becomes important. And you mentioned earlier, Hillary, that we get to choose. We're at the age where we're fortunate enough to where we don't have to chase every rabbit that runs out of a hole. But, we get to work with people that share those values. And it's so weird how you can talk about food and music and get to like why you do what you do and why you brand the way you brand and all that. And I'm sure you guys can share that from the podcast side of things to everything you do, Hillary. I know I only, at the current moment, only use the social media part of your business, but I know you do branding and advertising work and all that stuff.
We can change that, Josh.
I know we can. But I mean, did it hit with y'all like that any today, or is it just me?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, you or me?
You go ahead.
No, totally. I mean, I it's interesting. At this age, I tend to, and with me personally being, a startup company founder and now CEO, and I've never done this before, so there's just been this massive learning curve. But inside of that curve has been a lot of open eyes and just curiosity and discussions with people that have done this before, and just trying to learn as much as I can. And what's interesting is I look at a lot of other professions, and I don't see the creativity in it as much as I do in, say, the three that we've been kind of dissecting today. And the creativity obviously means a lot of different things, but in my mind, creativity is authenticity. You know, I talked to our, remember Scott Nurkin, phenomenal musician, but we've talked about creativity in depth before, and it just comes from within. It comes from the heart. It also requires a contentment. It requires an ease inside to allow these things to take shape in your head, to formulate and create something new. Whereas so many other things in life are formulaic and almost scientific in how you, and structured in how you do it. Whereas creativity requires emotion and requires these things inside of you to be even able to do it. So you look at finding homes that match certain personalities and feelings and family cultures and expectations and all these different things. It requires creativity, branding, marketing. It requires that. And of course, in my world, it's a storytelling piece, and it's creating something that people are proud of to put out, that highlights who these people are deep down, and that is the juice of all this. And it's really been fun to look into the things that made up our lives that got us to where we are, because you ask those questions, what's your favorite this, what's your favorite that, and you inevitably talk about the things that were from childhood, from junior high, from high school, that led to, this
who we are,
human that we are these days. And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And I think, before you go, Hillary, before we go to you, Hillary, though, I know community is super important to all three of us. And, I've said before, North Carolina has been discovered. And North Carolina, you've got city North Carolina, Charlotte, you've got Raleigh, you got the coast, you've got the mountains, but we have that southern nature, kind of that nostalgic, creative, back to the musicians. How many people out of the list I named, how many of those guys are from North Carolina?
Yeah,
the singer-songwriters.
Yeah, good number.
I mean, and I think our state as a whole contains so much of that people are drawn to it. I mean, because, and no offense to if you live in these states, but there are certain states in the country that it seems detached is the word I'm going to use. You don't have that genuine feel, whether it be in telling a story or branding, or just in relationship in general. But give me your thoughts, Hillary.
Yeah, that was a lot, guys. So thanks for. Here's 20 topics. Land the plane.
Yeah.
When we're talking about the authenticity and these paths that we've taken from originated in what we were talking about, music, but just hitting back on high school and growing up and those type things. I was actually going to be an art major in college. I was a painter, and I was pretty knee deep in it. And I remember my dad called me and he was like, "Hey, listen, I just want to throw this out there, but I'm not sure if you're aware that the majority of famous artists are dead." And his point was basically more like, how are you going to monetize this, princess? Not
Money
a lot of people.
you
Gotta, exactly. Yeah. And so I was like, how can I really monetize my art? So I was like, I will be an art teacher. That lasted 0.7 seconds where I was like, I would be the worst teacher ever. I would be like Cameron Diaz in that movie, Bad Teacher. Terrible, terrible. So I luckily evolved that into graphic design when I was in college. And I fell in love with it because it is art in its creation, but above all, it is that the relationships that I started to build, right? Because you're so vulnerable when you're putting out your art and you're surrounded by people, whether they were classmates at the time or peers now later in life, that can also call you on your shit, right? And be like, that's not hitting it. Or you just know, and it's a feeling, right? And so I think that when I look over where I've worked and who I've worked with, I've just been so blessed and honored on how that has landed the plane. And so I continue to look at what is that connective tissue through all of it, and it is those relationships, whether it's, peer or client or what have you. And that's where that, again, that key word of authenticity and where that creative special comes out. And that's only going to come out when you're thriving and you're in this positive environment, because it is absolutely impossible to do your best work and show really cool creative stuff when you're in a not great atmosphere, right? Or when that environment doesn't foster it. So yeah, I mean, just lucky to be in it and continue to grow it. And then you can look at things and say, that's super cool, but what if we did this? And you just can't do that in that, silo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Bam.
Take that, Robbie.
Land that plane.
Robbie's like, I'm done.
Let me go again.
I'm tapping out. Well, it's been fun having you guys on today. I knew, like, if we sat down, I mean, just because the way we've connected and the relationship that we've built, I mean, it's been easy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Easy. And when it's easy and fun and effective, it just comes together and it's like magic. I mean, like you've said, I've heard you say, man, that's magic.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm so thankful to have met you guys and to be able to work with you, and hope everybody's enjoyed listening to us shoot the breeze a little bit today.
I don't know how they couldn't have.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly.
But again, we're wrapping up. Hillary Lacouture, Robbie Shaw, Wrathbone Marketing, and EVRYBDY Studios. And again, my name's Josh Johnson, and I hope that you have enjoyed listening to our podcast today, telling our stories. If you did, like, follow, share, all those good things. I don't even know what they are. But, I love to listen to podcasts myself. I'm not sure that I have subscribed to a couple. Maybe that's the word that I missed. Like, share, subscribe. Yeah, but anyhow.
Comment, talk about.
Yeah. I like it when you just get to hear real people tell real stories. I mean, I think that's the whole key, and I hope that's what people find here at Telling Our Stories. And again, look forward to seeing us at our next time or listening to us on our next episode.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank
Way
you,
to go,
Robbie.
Josh. Way to
Thank
go,
you,
Robbie.
Hillary.
Slam dunk. Thanks, guys.
Love you.
I love you all. Thanks for joining this episode of Telling Our Stories. We hope you enjoyed today's show and episode. Please feel free to share with somebody that you think may enjoy it. Also, like, subscribe, and share away. We've got more episodes coming in the future. Thanks again for joining us today.